Welcome to Go Live TV, the future in your hands. The only multicultural IPTV station that brings communities together. Over 2.7 million people have already watched. Go Live TV, anytime, anywhere.
Hello, Toronto. Hello, world. This is Lola Fayola, and this is the Lola Lachey Lifestyle Show right here at Go Live TV. Today, I am welcoming a very special guest from African Fashion Week, Toronto 2023. We have the designer, fashionista from UK, Mr.Adebyo Jones. Mr. Adebyo Jones, thank you so much for joining me here today. It's a pleasure to have you right here with me.
Thank you for the kind invitation. I'm delighted to be here with you.
Well, you know what? I know I kind of caught you in between travel moments, but I'm so happy that you took the time to stop in and have this beautiful conversation with me, because we are talking about fashion, and everybody knows that Adebyo Jones is fashion. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, African Fashion Week, a big event that occurs right here in Toronto.
Yes.
Every year for the past, I believe, 11, 12 years.
Yes.
They've been going strong. So tell me a little bit about your involvement with African Fashion Week and how it started for you.
Well, African Fashion Week Toronto, a family. That's how I see them. And I'm so happy that we accepted the first invitation to attend the maiden edition. That was 11 years ago.
Wow.
And you know, I came in and I was so impressed by the passion and the vision that they had. And that it has led me to carry on attending the events, supporting in every capacity that I can. And it's become a highlight of our calendar for the year. Looking forward to coming to Toronto every year.
You have it marked down for August.
Every August. We don't accept any engagements until we have the dates confirmed
For African Fashion Week.
Fashion Week, because we would not like anything to clash with it.
Oh my God, well, thank you so much. I mean, you were here from the beginning then with African Fashion Week. You know, shout out to the founders, co-founders, Isaac Ansah, Brenda Foreman. They are doing an amazing job. I'm so grateful that they found you and was able to convince you to sign on to their event, because it has grown over the years. And I'm sure you're one of the reasons why it has grown. So, with that being said, I'm sure.
That was at the Japanese Center, I remember, the very first one.
Yes.
Yes, and we were so touched by the reaction of the audience and the passion, the passion that I saw that they had for this vision was what actually spurred me on to say, you know what, I'm staying right put.
You're sticking to it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, because it's a really big event, and it's very necessary, because we as Afro Canadians, Afro, you know, from London, from all over the globe, we need certain exposure, you know, and we just don't have it in the mass that we need to have it in. So I'm really happy about this event. This is one event I've been attending now for the past 2 years, and trust me, I would not be anywhere else this time of year but African Fashion Week. So
it's wonderful. Because, you know, one of the visions that they had was to create an opportunity and an avenue for designers who otherwise would not maybe have the chance to get the mainstream support in showing their talents, their creativity. And then they've been able to do that, you know, seemingly almost effortlessly in a way. But it's been through a lot of hard work. If one's been in the background, so many careers have been launched that I know of from the designers.
What a great
as
thing.
well, and it's just been amazing.
That's a beautiful
It's a wonderful
thing.
initiative.
That's a beautiful thing.
So inspiring.
Okay. That, you know, it inspires me, because I'm very artistic myself. I love the art, beauty, fashion, you know, all of it. It's all under one umbrella. So to see my people, you know, leading in this industry right now in Toronto it just makes me feel like it's me. You know what I mean? So again, I applaud you for what you're doing. I please ask you to come year and year and year again after, you know, this year, 2023. We know that you just finished a huge show right here at Go Live Studios, where you displayed your luxury line, which is different from your Africana line, which you displayed at Dundas Square for the African Fashion Week fashion show in Dundas Square.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the difference there between the Africana line and the luxury line.
Okay, luxury line couture is what we started with so many years ago. And as you know, not everyone can afford couture because of the costs associated with it as well. So we wanted to find a way to diffuse the collections and then to have some main areas from the diffusion range. And the Africana was born out of the love and passion for using prints that are considered African in a way, but the idea was to translate them into ideas that could appeal to a wider audience as well. So
More
whether
mainstream.
it be in a jacket like I'm wearing now from
Yes.
the Africana range, or dresses that could appeal to a wider audience as well.
Right.
For everybody to be able to find something that they would love to take home from the collection and have it in a way that's clean, following the ethos of the classical line, of the couture line, clean, almost seemingly effortless, in the way that classic, and in a way that it allows the collections to withstand the seasonal changes in fashion, which is quite fast. So they're not easily dated because the lines are much more classic. And clean.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not dated. I mean,
Yes.
you can wear it today, you can wear it 20 years from now, and it's still going to look
Absolutely.
as beautiful as it did the day that it was created and the first day that you wore it. So, I myself had the opportunity of wearing something from your Africana line, and
Yes.
honestly, to me, that was couture. I was like, this is amazing, right? So it's a very fine line, very fine line, and very affordable too.
Yes.
And you can still feel very regal, very royal in both
Absolutely.
lines, and feel very couture too in both lines. So
Actually, the
that's the
vision
overall.
is that we wanted to make the Africana line almost as grand as the couture. So in terms of the construction, the tailoring techniques, it's still got the same ethos.
That's why it
as the
felt regal.
couture. Yes.
That's why it
of
felt
course.
regal.
And you wanted to curate these designs in a way that you could wear them to grand events. If you were called to attend the Grammys or the Oscars, you could turn up in these gowns and still feel as, feeling as regal and as grand as every other person who is wearing a major world name on those platforms as
Can
well.
I just say,
Yes.
even grander, okay? You will feel even grander
you.
than, the other names that are out there,
Yes.
designers rather, that are out there that are grand, let's say.
Thank you.
feel even grander. So it doesn't matter what line you're wearing, you're going to experience luxury and quality, and then
Absolutely.
if you have, the personality to bring it off, it's going to be amazing. So trust me, the Africana line and the luxury line, I still
Thank
have yet
you.
to try the luxury line, though.
Because the vision is that when you dress well and you look good and you feel good, it does a certain thing for the confidence. So confidence will radiate when you look good and you feel good about yourself. And that's the first thing that I set out to do, to make people look beautiful, even more beautiful than they are, because I believe we are all created beautiful. And then, when you come and you put on those clothes, it does something for you, makes you feel special and
It
grand.
really does.
And that's something that's wonderful for your well-being as well.
It's really, really healthy.
Yes.
Let me just say, it's a very healthy look and a very healthy feeling. So, okay, moving on. When you started fashion,
Yeah.
what age were you? When did you know that, this
Wow.
is for me, I'm going to be a designer?
I'll share a little story with you. When I was about 12, there was this fashion store beside the house, and they had some T-shirts on display. And I saw a particular T-shirt that grabbed my attention. And I rushed home to my mom and said, please give me some money. I need to buy this T-shirt. She said, you don't need any more clothes. I said, please, please, Mama, please. And then she gave me the
T-shirt.
money. I was about 12. And then I rushed down there, got the T-shirt. I was coming back home excitedly. And I got back, said, what's so special about the T-shirt? Let me see it. And I opened it up. And the words on it? I'm really famous.
You're kidding.
I was about 12. And then at that stage, you would not have thought that one was having a foresight into the future.
Manifestation.
And I loved fashion because that was my mother's profession as well. So I watched her, creating garments. I remember this dress she made for my elder sister for the children's TV party that used to happen then, in the late 60s or so. And so I think that the passion and the desire came from there.
Wow.
And in secondary school, I would always sketch. I go to university, and that was 1981. I was watching my first live fashion show, and I looked at everybody on stage and I thought, my goodness, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And so in 1983, I did my first fashion show on campus. I became known as a designer, though I was studying history and sociology. By the time I finished, I was already a full-fledged designer, and I thought, now I need to learn. My mom used to help me with the patterns. I said, I need to learn for myself because she's not going to be here all of the time. And so hence England came on, and I thought, okay, go to England, study for 6 months, come back to Nigeria and carry on. Here we are.
Wow.
All these years, almost 40 years.
And you went to school for history.
Yes.
And came out a fashion design, top couture fashion designer out of the UK, all from a t-shirt.
Yes. And it was very organic when we started. There was no Facebook, there was no social media, there was no mobile phones. So it was a case of walking organically, writing letters to editors. Please send them pictures. Please write an article about me. Please feature my stuff. Phoning and, writing letters repeatedly.
And how did everyone receive you?
Yes. So
public?
With time, they would publish. It took time. Yeah. But when they published, they would do like 2 full pages in the newspaper.
Ooh, nice.
And then it went to Pride magazine. They did the first, I remember this amazing spread, 1999, 6 pages. And it just moved on from there. Ovation magazine helped a great deal by when it came on the scene, I think in 1996 or so.
So
I'd just done the big show at the German embassy in London then.
Congratulations.
And they developed so many collaborations with big companies. When I did the show, I got linked with Wempe Diamonds, so they provided all the diamonds that we used then, and it just built from there.
Wow.
Nurturing relationships, staying loyal, really caring about people. And eventually you built an army of supporters. And then later on, we had the social media.
And of course, that helped expand your brand.
To expand things, but the growth was organic, relating to people, finding relationships, mending them, and making sure that
maintaining those
relationships
very
with
important.
Loyalty.
Very important, especially within our community too, right? Not that you're just offering your designs to our community, because your designs are worldwide, available to everybody, who loves the designs and the artwork. But it's really important that our community knows that, we're accepting of you, this is what we have to offer, and they understand that this is here for them, you know? And if you build a connection, communicate with people, I'm sure your brand will grow. That's what it's all about, And then here we come now with social media and all these other wonderful platforms to help you build and grow your businesses. So I think that's amazing that it just kind of, what is for you is for you.
Yes. And when one was younger, I suppose it was more about the excitement and the fame and all that. But as you got older, you realized that this is beyond you. And then there are those who, when we started in England, the main designers were from the Caribbean origins. You had Bruce Oldfield, Joe Casely Hayford and stuff. But the ones from Nigeria, and there was myself and Yemi and Adebakare and Kofi Ansah and all those. And then we kind of like paved the way for all the younger ones. You kind of came like
a diamond in the rough.
To come on. So you realize that this vision, this dream, is way bigger than you. Attached to it are the destinies of so many others who are looking and saying, if they could do it, so can we.
That's it.
And that you are also there to mentor, to nurture. I'm never scared to help to build careers, because I believe that, a candle lighting another candle only makes the room brighter. And if you're sure of yourself and your gift and what you have, it doesn't scare you to see talent in other people. Recognize it, be happy for them, and help them in every way to make sure that they have a chance to grow. That's what the legacy is all about.
And you know what? That's how the world goes around,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Each one, teach one, one hand, as my mother would say, one hand cannot clap.
Yes.
You know, you need team, you need people. We need to unite and get this done, you know, and you will grow, I will grow, they will grow.
Yeah.
And we're all one big happy family.
I think it also comes from a place of one, recognizing that what you have is a gift.
Right.
And it's bigger than you. Attached to that gift are destinies of others.
Yes.
And you're there as in your capacity as a role model. And also, everybody needs someone to open the door. There are still places, doors that I'm knocking, and I need people. And so when you look back and you see people trying to knock on the door, just open the door and help them
if
out.
you can help.
If you are confident in your own gift, you don't have to envy others or be scared of other talents rising.
What a great
because
message.
your space is your space.
That is it. And what is for you is for you. It's not going to pass you by.
Yeah.
Unless you just sit there and let it.
Yeah.
Of course, right? Okay, so I really, really, really love what you're saying, because you know what? It shows how humble you are. And it
Thank
shows
you.
that you came from, you know, here,
Yeah.
and you graduated and leveled up with the help of the community.
Yeah.
You know, and you're giving right back. And that's why you're always going to be in the position you are in.
Thank you.
Or grander.
Amen to that.
Amen to that, right?
Thank you.
So now, one question I really have in my mind,
Yes.
and that question is, as a designer, how do you know, decide on the designs or the creations that you have in your vision? Do you decide once you know, come across some material and then say, oh, I can make this out of that? Or does the design come before the fabric? Like, how do you make that decision?
That's quite interesting. Firstly, I believe talent is God-given.
Absolutely.
It's a gift from God. And if you want to experience or recognize who the best designer is, just look at the universe, you know, and then you see where creativity comes from. And then secondly, for me, I also believe that if you are in a good space,
Yes.
you are not stressed, not too relaxed, because you are influenced by everything that's around you. Imagine a baby is born. It's a blank canvas.
Yes.
And it begins to take in a lot of information. The environment, the food, the culture, the colors,
Toxic.
everything around
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and that becomes the summation of who that baby becomes in the future. And so when you then travel, I'm looking at these flowers and I'm seeing fabrics, I'm seeing textiles, and it's already like that. I'm looking and thinking, wow, if I had a gown and you had the flowers and embroidery and stuff, and that's how the ideas come.
Okay.
You're either inspired by things that you see from travels, from art, from nature,
Yes.
like we're looking at, or you are inspired and then you create from that. Or you have the fabrics and then you look at it and say, what can I do with this
Okay.
that would have the maximum impact without losing the ethos of who I am? That's why it's very important to be true to yourself. You can be inspired by things, but be true to yourself. If you try to be a bit of everybody, you will be lost and you won't have a signature that speaks for who you are and what your collection is all about. So
Very nice.
it's
That
a
was-
mixture of things.
Yes, because I was thinking to myself, with all these beautiful fabrics, and then, you know, your mind already has a vision.
Yes.
Do you see the fabric? Okay, this is what I'm going to do with this fabric. Or do you know, have the visual and then go out and search for a fabric to match that vision? So it's a bit of both as to what I'm
Yes.
understanding from you right now.
Do you know the interesting thing? You are bringing in from the intangible into the physical space. Because I just gave you an analogy. Now I'm looking at these flowers and I can already see pictures. So you're building in pictures. These pictures, nobody is seeing them, but you're seeing them completely.
Right,
In the
in your-
mind,
in
in
your
your
mind.
head, yes.
Yeah.
And so you take the pen and paper and you begin to sketch. And you're sketching. So you bring it in from where it seems it doesn't exist, but it's already in existence. Because everything you can imagine is real.
It's already there.
Yeah,
It's already
everything.
there.
Basically what you're doing, you're going into that realm and you're pulling in from there into the physical space. So you then draw this thing that you've seen nobody else has seen. You put it on paper and you think such a fabric would be fine to do this. And then you start from the beginning.
From scratch.
Yeah, to work towards what's already been completed. And it's in the same way, I believe, like our lives are with God, you know.
I would say so,
Our
right?
journeys are created. He knows us from the
Just
beginning
listen.
to the end.
Yeah.
And then we come to walk that journey, hopefully to make choices.
Hopefully we listen.
Choices that are
Yes.
good so that we can enjoy the benefits.
The
of
purpose
Thank you.
of why we are truly here, of why he really created us. And I always
You
talk
a
about
preacher?
that. I always talk about purpose. You
It's
know,
so important.
My whole slogan for Lola Lashade Lifestyle is follow your dreams and
Yes.
answer your calling. Because we all have one.
Do you know the amazing thing? The best thing a man can discover is purpose.
I would
God
say so.
has a purpose for every single person. The maker of a thing knows the best use and the function for that particular product. So when you find that, and a lot of people are gifted, but take those giftings as ordinary, like it was just nothing. And the best way to say, put a fish in water and you'll see dazzling brilliance, because that's where it was designed to
Exactly.
be. Take the same fish and put it on sand.
You know,
It struggles for life.
it's so funny that you use that analogy, because I always say, like, I always just pose the question, why is it that, you know, nature knows what to do, the animals know what to do, and they cycle that over and over and over, but human beings,
Yes.
we fight what we're naturally supposed to do, you know, or what comes natural to us. Why is that?
But
You know,
you
just
know-
a little food for thought.
You know, I believe that a lot of the times, situations, circumstances
Yes.
rob so many of the opportunity to discover those giftings very early on in life.
This
or
is
so.
true.
Or they get beaten down by when they start to show a certain kind of
Yeah.
grace, you know, for that gifting. Oh, you're doing that again. You should be studying your books. And so it's beaten out of them, kind of thing. Of
diminishes
dividend. Yes, it
purpose.
doesn't
It's almost like
have
purposeless.
an opportunity to shine. And even a lot, I had a neighbor who was so good at baking cakes. And when she was going to bake cakes, she would stop me and say, I'm baking cakes, would you like? And say, yes. So one day I said, do you know you could make a business out of this? And she wasn't working. She had 2 children at the moment, at that time. And she said, really, I can? I said, but I don't know how to do icing. I said, then go and learn. You know, today she went, she did the first course, she did the second course. She's a full-time chef now. Just from that. And she can bake and she can cook, and that's her career.
Adebayo,
Yes.
you pushed her into that. She would have never, she would have just, oh, I'm baking cakes at home, whatever.
She said,
da, da,
who
da.
will buy it? I said, your children go to school, don't they? She said, yes. I said, even cupcakes for their birthday, start with that. Call it so name to
And now
protect her
she's
name.
a big time,
Yes, exactly.
beautiful. You
So
pushed
a
her
lot
into her
of the
purpose.
gifts that we have, we take for granted. And that's why, even for me,
Even for me.
music is a big part of I write songs, I sing in church and stuff, and ceremonies and events
Wow,
and stuff.
and you recorded music?
I'm working on the first single.
Well, I would love to hear it as soon as it's complete. You know you have to
Thank
share
you.
that. I would
Yeah.
love to hear that.
Because if God gives you the gifts,
Use it.
you're to use it.
That's why you're here.
There's an account for every gift you've been given.
If no other message has been received here today, Toronto, UK, the world, please receive the message on behalf of Adebyo Jones, fashion designer, on behalf of myself, Lola Fayola. Please follow your dreams and answer your calling. Be motivated and inclined to do so. It's for you and it's for everybody else.
Absolutely. It's so important.
Most
That's why
importantly.
we're here. And if you can live in purpose, you have the most fulfilled
Peaceful.
life. Because that gift is seemingly effortless to you. And people look at it and say, how can you do that? But for you, it's not a border, it's not a challenge. It's something that you're naturally disposed to doing and fulfilling with ease.
And it feels like not a big deal to you, right? But to the next person, as you're saying, it's like, oh my goodness, like, you know, everything going on in the world today, how can he do that? How could she do that? Or how is she making it through? Because I know myself, I know my purpose, and I follow that because I'm at peace when I do that.
Yes, and we need to support ourselves with good people who
Yes.
believe in our vision. Your visions are not to be shared with just anybody. because there are those who are vision killers, and then they will beat you down and tell you every reason why it can't succeed. But if that seed is in your soul, you need to run with it and believe in the one who gave it to you. Trust God, believe in yourself, and run with it.
And
it
go.
may not be easy, but eventually, patience has its values and its payday.
But nothing good comes easy out of Bio Jones. Nothing good comes easy. You're going to have to work. But that is all about setting your intentions for your purpose and then acting upon it as the Lord has said for you to do.
Oh, yes.
And then everything the Lord will put in your path.
It will align you with all the people, the destiny helpers, the support. When they're there, recognize it, value them, don't take them for granted. Nurture the relationship, stay loyal.
And love the
be
naysayers.
Strong. Yes.
Love the naysayers. They're going to help you move forward.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, love the naysayers.
Yes.
Okay, so 2024 is right around the corner. What do you have in your little designer bag?
Well, we want to do a lot more.
I'm sure you do.
More of the diffusion range to make sure they're readily available on ground here.
Yes.
As well, and other different products also. We're working in the background to make that happen real soon.
And it will be
happening
happening
back
soon.
for the Fashion Weeks. And of course, the African Fashion Industry Awards as well, which is going to happen shortly as well, because that's also been separated and it has a life of its own. So we'll be back for that too.
Grand.
We'll be back for the Fashion Weeks. We'll be back for openings, you know.
People need to be flying into the country now to experience African Fashion Week, to experience Adebyo Jones and the great talent that we have here in Toronto, right? It's going to be amazing. So the upcoming years, I can only see getting better and better, and I know your creativity is just on non-stop, and you can't put out enough.
Did you see what happened at Dundas Square?
Yes, I did. I was there,
That
right
was
in the front.
Glorious.
Beautiful.
Magnificent. If I look back at the Japanese Center and I look back at Dundas Square, I mean, the growth is phenomenal. Did you see what happened at Go Live Studios?
Yes, I did. I was also here.
On the 26th.
In the studio.
It was incredible, the experience. I was looking at a clip that somebody had recorded. I'm thinking, wow, this is...
It was beautiful.
Glorious.
And I mean, you're on stage, so you didn't even get to really see it from, you know, the view of the audience.
Yes.
And it just looked vibrant. And then you're standing there, you're giving your speech, you know, you're humble. Humble is Mr. Adebyo's middle name, by the way.
Thank
you. Don't let the luxury and the couture fool you. Humble. Okay? So that, again, is beautiful. Beautiful that you can be so humble and have such fiery passion for the art that you do and for the people that are supporting you and even for the non-supporters. You know?
I believe that one has to be balanced, grounded, and God hates pride. And it's and if you really want to walk with God, that's an area that one has to walk on, and you keep saying, Father, help me to keep myself grounded.
Keep your ears open.
Exactly.
Keep your mind
Treat
clean.
people nicely, the same way you would love to be treated.
It's
with
basic,
respect
isn't it
and
basic?
Dignity. Yes. Stay loyal.
Stay loyal. Oh, loyalty.
You know,
There goes that word out of Bio Jones.
Are called to be by your side, and
yes.
you know, it would become a better experience for everyone involved.
Yes, everyone will grow at that point.
Exactly.
You know, and be where they're supposed to be in life. So you know what? I mean, I wish I had more time to sit here and get to talk to you and really, just a quick question, just a little fun factor. Give us one of your favorite meals, chicken or beef?
Chicken.
Okay. If you were to have a pet, dog or cat?
A dog.
One place in the world where you would not wish to live.
One place in the world.
One place in the world where you would not wish to live. Just one.
Just one place.
Just one.
Antarctica.
Antarctica. You know what? I'm right along with that because I love the heat. Oh my God, Adebyo Jones, it has been amazing to have experienced this whole weekend with you because, you know, we had a great time downtown, the launch on Thursday, then, you know, we came to Go Live Studio on Sunday, on Saturday, and then we had more fun on Sunday downtown. So I just want to invite everybody to make sure that they come down next year, African Fashion Week. Of course, Adebyo Jones will be there. Thank you so much again for joining me here on the Lola Lashade Lifestyle Show. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Well, we're on Instagram, Adebyo Jones Luxury. We are on LinkedIn. They can find us on LinkedIn on Adebyo Jones. On Twitter, Adebyo Jones. On Facebook, Adebyo Jones Luxury. It's all the same name. Just put in Adebyo Jones.
Beautiful.
You'll find us.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adebyo Jones.
My pleasure.
Safe travel back home. Thank you, Toronto. Thank you, UK. Thank you, world. It's Go Live TV. I'm your girl, Empress Lola Fayola. This is the Lola Lashade Lifestyle Show. See you next time.